What if Zoro wasn't Demon Slayer? Hello, my dear watchers. Welcome to What If Fandoms, where we dive into the multiverse, pondering the simple question of what if involving our favorite franchises. Today's story is the beginning of What if Zoro was in the Demon Slayer universe? With that being said, please enjoy the story. Our story begins with a demon running through the forest, terrified, barely able to breathe. As he falls, he keeps stumbling and muttering to himself, "It's a mistake. I didn't mean. Please." As the individual walks up to the demon and with a quick slash of their blade decapitates the demon. As it fades, this unknown individual mutters to themselves, "How far have I wandered this time?" Meanwhile, at the Butterfly Mansion, as the Slayers enjoy the sun and relaxation of the day itself, one of the crows flies and lands on Lady Shinobu's shoulder, stating the master has called a meeting and that all Hashira must be in attendance. One by one, the Hashira have come to the location, greeting one another as they patiently wait for the master to enter. As the master does so, the Hashira bow in respect, but then ask why has this meeting been called. The crows were not exactly precise with their details. The master then confesses that demons have been disappearing at an alarming rate, and he is actually confused, given how no Slayer has come to claim the credit. He asks his Hashira, have any of them worked diligently to do these actions, or is there a new member on the board that they need to either recruit or deal with? With that being said, the room falls silent. No one understands how is it that someone who is not a Slayer has been interacting with such an ordeal. However, the master decides to put his Hashira at ease and simply tells them to continue their business and go about their missions. This answer will come soon enough. We simply need to practice patience. The Hashira agree and leave respectfully, as Shinobu leaves and tells the young trio that they have missions respectfully to take care of. With Tanjiro handling a mission of his own, he's come across a new demon much like the swamp demon of his past. However, this demon is more powerful, and Tanjiro is too weak. Being forced to the ground and almost beaten, Tanjiro decides that he cannot fail here. He has to finish his mission, find a cure for Nezuko, find Muzan, and avenge his family. As this new demon surrounds him, they charge. Tanjiro, afraid, simply brings up his guard and closes his eyes, hoping that something will happen in order to help him get out of this mess. As his eyes close, 3 quick slashes can be heard and the demon fades away, as a man stands before Tanjiro with 3 swords held in both hands and within his mouth. As the demon fell, the man turns to young Tanjiro, sheathing his blades, looking at him. "Hey kid, you okay?" the man says as Tanjiro simply looks in awe. The demons fell so quickly, with no problem at all. How? Tanjiro then introduces himself to the man, and the man follows suit with such pleasantries. "The name's Roronoa Zoro. Pleasure to meet you." After introductions were made, Tanjiro decides to invite Zoro back to the Butterfly Mansion, telling him that there's much to discuss. Zoro simply asks him, "Will there be food?" The reply is yes. "Will there be sake?" Tanjiro replies that they can easily get some. With that being said, Zoro easily complies and joins them to the Butterfly Mansion. As they return to the Butterfly Mansion, Shinobu talks with Tanjiro and is intrigued at the idea that this random man uses 3 swords in order to fight demons. However, their conversation is quickly interrupted by a nervous Zenitsu bursting in, telling him that they need to help, they need to stop the fight. With a fight being claimed, they come to a room where Inosuke is holding one of Zoro's blades in his hand while a rock is in the other, with a sinister cackle comes from Inosuke as Zoro holds him in a headlock, telling him, "Don't you dare, you stupid boar! I'll kill you! I'll rip it off!" With all the shouting in mind, Shinobu quickly takes Zoro to the side while Tanjiro deals with Inosuke. Tanjiro then asks Inosuke, what on earth is he doing? Does he not understand what's going on? Inosuke responds with, how dare he have 3 swords? I'm the king of the mountain! I'm the only one who can have multiple swords! And I need to make my swords better! Tanjiro takes the blade from Inosuke and returns it to Zoro, apologizing on his friend's behalf. Zoro is still angry, however, telling them to keep the boar head away from him. He is only calm once the butterfly girls comes over with a bottle of sake, asking him if he is still thirsty. As Zoro sits down and begins to drink, Shinobu asks him question after question, wondering where he came from, what style of fighting does he use, and how is it that he was able to defeat the demon so effortlessly without having any form of training from the core itself. Zoro simply lets the girl ramble as he looks at her confused, wondering how far he has wandered. As Shinobu continues to ask question after question, a crow lands on her shoulder, saying that the master has agreed for another meeting and that they need to bring their new guest along, for he is the topic of discussion. With a new meeting being called, Zoro, along with Tanjiro, accompany this Hashira meeting. As the Hashira continue to regroup once again, they all ask Zoro, who is he, where has he come from, and what is his deal? Why has he decided to attack demons? Zoro, however, was shocked at the statement of demons. Wait, demons? I thought those were just regular old cannibals who decided to try and take a bite out of me. You mean to tell me demons exist? Where on earth am I? With his shocked statement in mind, the Hashira have come to realize that Zoro is not local. But then the question is asked even further. If he's not aware of demons, how is it that he's been able to slay them without a Nichirin blade? Nietzsche, what? Zoro then asks the Hashira as they explain to him it's the material used for their swords. Once that is claimed, Zoro simply stated, oh yeah, no, my blades aren't made of that. I've been using my haki. Haki? The Hashira ask in confusion at such a statement. Realizing that they don't know what it is, Zoro goes into simple terms. Well, haki is nothing more than my will fused with my blades. As long as my will is strong, nothing can break it. The Hashira look at each other in confusion, but accept his explanation. That is, except for one. That makes no sense, Sanemi states, glaring at Zoro. If willpower was all that was needed to kill demons, we wouldn't have been losing this war. We wouldn't need the material of a Nichirin blade. We would have been able just to finish them off easily. One must always be open to new forms of combat, young one. I personally would like to hear more of this haki. That is, if you're willing to have a discussion, young man, the master says, announcing his presence to both the Hashira and the 3 swordsmen. Zoro shakes his head towards the master, respectfully declining his offer to stay. No offense, but I have my own business to take care of, and I have to find my way back home. I'm pretty sure my friends are already losing their minds without me. Thank you for your hospitality, but I must be going. The master holds his hand up, asking Zoro to wait. It may be possible for us to help each other. That is, if you are willing to play nice with others. Zoro stops to hear the man and ponder on such a alliance. However, before he can even answer the master's request, he is interrupted by Sanemi once again. Master, with all due respect, I must object. We know nothing of this man or of his skills. If you're as powerful as you say you are, prove it. Use that haki ability of yours and slay that demon over there, Sanemi states, pointing to the infamous box where Nezuko quietly rests while all this happens. Without hesitation, let alone warning, Tanjiro headbutts Sanemi, claiming, enough of this! We've been through this before! Nezuko is an ally! Her existence is no longer taboo! How dare you threaten her again! With the argument unraveling once more, the Hashira telling Tanjiro to calm down and others checking on Sanemi, Zoro simply sits to the side and tells the master that he did not wish to cause such issues. Like he said, he needs to be leaving. The master stops Zoro from leaving once again and claims he did no such thing as cause trouble. However, he must agree with the young subordinate. Your skills have to be proven. Please, show us your skills. As everyone calms down as the master makes his statement, Tanjiro objects but is quickly silenced. He then turns to Zoro and says, "Sir, please, you can't hurt Nezuko. She's my little sister. She's all I have left." With such a statement being made, Zoro simply softly pushes Tanjiro to the side and he tells the Hashira, "I'm not going to hurt an innocent little child. But if any of you actually have your doubts with me, fine, draw your sword. I'll show you the difference in strength that I hold against all of you." Shinobu is the first to step to the side, claiming that she heard of Zoro's skills from Tanjiro himself, so she doesn't need to witness it firsthand, but she'll enjoy the show. One by one, the other Hashira follows suit, all except for Sanemi. As Sanemi stands up, he draws his blade. "Your arrogance will be your downfall, stranger!" he claims to Zoro as Zoro stands to the side. Not even unsheathing his blades, he simply pulls out the Wado Ichimonji and holds it in view of everyone. The other Hashira stand around confused as Shinobu gestures to Tanjiro asking, "You claimed he fought with 3 swords, right?" Tanjiro simply nods and waits to see the end result of this fight. Sanemi, enraged by this, shouts to Zoro, "You won't even unsheathe your blade? How prideful of you! How arrogant!" Zoro chuckles at that statement, claiming it's all I am going to need. After all, you wouldn't kill a fly with a cannonball, would you? Sanemi, enraged by this statement, pulls out his blade and shouts, "Fine, I will show you the power of the Wind Hashira! Wind breathing, dust whirlwind cutter!" With one slash, a whirlwind of dust is brought into the air, covering everyone's eyes so no one can see a thing. Coughs fill everyone's ears as they see nothing. At first, Sanemi is proud with himself, sheathing his blade and turning his back. "Ha! I knew he was all talk! What a waste of time!" That is, until some pats can be heard. Zoro, unaffected by the attack, is simply dusting himself off. Man, if that's really all you guys can do, no wonder you want to learn hockey. Confused as to what happened, the master asks his children to relay the events. As the details are given, he actually asked to stop the match, but he was too late. Zoro acted too quickly. Moving faster than any of the Hashira could identify, Zoro blitzed Sanemi, bringing his hilt directly into his gut, bringing the Hashira to his knees. Sanemi falls quickly to the ground, coughing, gasping for air, before he slowly falls to unconsciousness. "How? You didn't even move!" Zoro chuckles at the unconscious Hashira, claiming that it was fun, but you still have much to learn. You and I are on totally different levels, he says, walking away to the master, as he bows in respects and tells him, "Again, I did not mean to cause a fight. This was not my intention." The master holds his hand up, claiming to Zoro that he has nothing to apologize for. "But please, reconsider staying with us. I'm sure we can find a way to help each other find an end to both our goals. You teach our people hockey, and we can help you return to where it is you came from." Zoro ponders on this idea and claims, "All right, fine, but only until I can find my friends. After that, you're on your own." With such a statement being made, Zoro is now officially a Hashira, as his mark claims, 3 swords as his title. And that, dear watchers, is where we'll be leaving the story off for now. I understand your curiosity. How is Zoro in this new world? Where are the other Straw Hats? And what kind of shenanigans will happen now that Zoro is a Hashira? Those answers can be answered in the future, but I guess you'll just have to come back next time to see how this story unfolds. But for now, have a good